My coverage of Computex 2023 is brought to you by Antec, Cooler Master, and MSI. To learn more about their products, check out the links in the description.
Before we continue, thanks to CD Key Offer for sponsoring this video. Right now, CD Key Offer is having a Windows 10 sale, including global lifetime keys for Windows 10 Pro. Right now, they're even letting you stack my offer code on top of their offer. Use code BW20 at checkout for an additional discount and snag a legit Windows 10 key for just $16. Afterwards, simply view and copy the key you just purchased, paste it into the Windows activation page, and presto. Enjoy every feature Windows 10 has to offer, ditch the watermark, and even use it for a free upgrade to Windows 11. CDKeyOffer.com is also having a back-to-school physical sale on gear like mechanical keyboards, gaming headsets, RGB decor, and more. Remember kids, just because you're going back to school doesn't mean you can't leverage this awful time in your life to your benefit. By the way, you don't need to be a student to take advantage of any of these deals, so congratulations, everything sucks a lot less for you. Check out the links in the description below and start browsing all of the limited time deals on CDKeyOffer.com.
We're at Corsair now, and they are showing off their new IQ Link. It is a smart controller, and it has the capability to control 7 devices per channel, a total of 14 devices. You can see that we've got 5 fans and 2 AIO pump blocks, all being lit up on one channel, and basically the exact same thing on another channel. 14 devices off of this little thing. I mean, when you think about the Commander Pro, how many cables and how much of a mess behind your motherboard tray would that cause to have all these devices connected in one system? It's absolutely insane. Quite a game changer. Of course, the one downside here is that they are using a proprietary cable and ecosystem. So it's only going to be able to work with other supported Corsair devices, IQ Link devices, which is probably expected. So there is a trade-off there. But another thing that they did was they actually used PCI Express. There's a 6-pin PCIe cable that's using to power this whole thing, because the other bottleneck to being able to pull this off previously was the power delivery of SATA, which is currently how most every RGB hub and fan hub is powered these days. But by going with PCI Express, they're able to get, I think it's like 168 watts of power compared to like, what, 18 watts on SATA? It's just absolutely insane. So that really opens up a ton of possibilities, way more than what you're just seeing here. This is just a quick demo. For those wondering, the fans that are being shown here on their AIOs are the IQ Link QX RGB fans. So they've got the QX 120 RGB and the QX 140 RGB. This is a 140 that I'm holding right here. And these are daisy chainable. You have these little connectors here. You stick them in the little grooves of the fan, and then you snap the fans together, and voila. The new IQ Link AIOs are going to be coming included with a very long cable to support any size build. This is 600 millimeters, I believe, but you'll be able to purchase shorter cables all the way down to 100 millimeters in length should you want to use a tidier method of connecting everything, or if you're trying to daisy chain sets of fans together that are really close together in your build. So here's a build that's demoing the IQ Link AIO right here. You can see that the cable is actually tied in with the tubing. It's underneath the tube sleeving, and then it comes out at the end here, and then from the radiator, it goes straight into the fan. The fans are daisy chained together, and you could even keep going from there. You could have another cable connecting this to another set of fans, connecting it to other IQ Link devices, like this, the IQ Link XG3 RGB. This is more or less a universal GPU block. It's not a full cover block that's for specific GPUs, but it is going to be compatible with up to, or at least 100 different graphics cards, which is pretty wild. While they didn't really confirm or deny it, it seems like Corsair might be planning full cover water blocks for the next generation of NVIDIA GPUs at the very least, for RTX 5000 series, if that's what they're going to call it. Because the way they see it right now is the RTX 4090, anyone who wants to water cool that GPU already has. There's no point in creating a full cover water block for it. But for anyone who's kind of on the fence about water cooling their GPU, this is a really easy upgrade. Got a fan right there, which is actually pretty quiet from what I can tell. You've got the inlet and outlet up top, plastic construction all around the shroud, and then you can notice that there's actually quite a bit of clearance between the copper plate and the shroud. That's just to allow for additional airflow between the fan and the PCB. You don't want to get any hot spots there, especially with memory that could potentially overheat quite easily. Nice large copper plate, thermal pads for your memory. We also have a nice microfin array underneath that's supposed to be Very good for heat dissipation. And as I mentioned, this is part of IQ Link, so it's got that same proprietary cable that you can connect to any other IQ Link supported device, like their new CPU blocks. This is the IQ XC7 RGB Elite LCD. They have two models, one without an LCD screen and another one that's with. Everything under the hood between the two is exactly the same. Both units feature pre-applied thermal paste, hexaflow cooling engine, and integrated temperature sensor. That's going to tie directly to the IQ software, allow you to monitor your thermals. You can also customize the LCD, of course, as we've seen in the past, but now with a custom liquid-cooled option. And I believe you can rotate this as well. So if you did want to reorient the water block in order to have your inlet and outlet on the left side, for example, you should be able to flip the LCD so it's not upside down. I didn't get a confirmation as to whether or not it rotates. You could rotate the LCD 90 degrees if you wanted to put the inlet and outlet top or bottom, but maybe somebody else can confirm that for me. Here we have the IQ Link XD5 RGB Elite Pump Reservoir Combo. This is featuring a Xylem D5 PWM pump. It's a 440 milliliter transparent reservoir.
Your camera sucks.
Your camera. Hey, you got the Lumix out. You switched to even better camera.
Well,
even your lesser camera was better than my camera.
it's all about versatility.
It's all about pouring salt in the wound. I see. What a friend. Where was I before Paul so rudely interrupted me? 440 milliliter transparent reservoir and 22 addressable RGB LEDs, all configurable, of course, within the IQ software. And again, that single link cable just makes everything so convenient. You want to see something even cooler? LCD screen. LCD screen built into the pump res. Friggin' insane. Is actually really handy because a lot of people like to monitor their liquid temps, their coolant temps, what have you, and now they don't need a separate screen or an LCD to find a place on their system to mount it. It's already built in to the pump res. This is very cool. Very, very cool indeed. You got the inlet and outlet right there. Of course, this is all customizable again in the IQ software, and it's using all the same internals otherwise as the other two we just looked at. Here we have a full-blown custom loop system using the IQ Link ecosystem. So there's just a single cable connecting all of these various elements, including the CPU block, the GPU block, the pump res, the fans. Ordinarily, with all these things going on, if you've ever put together a system this sophisticated, particularly a custom loop build, you know just how many cables you have to cram behind the motherboard by the end of it. But here, all we have to deal with is a single hub and a splitter to help us connect more devices, and that's it. It's so simple, it's so clean. There's another example of this. If we look at this build over here, this thing has like 16 different friggin' fans. Let's count them. 3, 6, 9, and then you've also got 10, and then other devices, 11, 12, 13, oh, it's push-pull, 14, 15, 16. We have 16 RGB devices. 16 devices. Let's see what the back looks like. It is actually extremely minimal. You can see they had to bust out a second controller because it only does up to 14. We have 16 in there, a splitter. This is the first time ever where a build that has this much going on, this many connected RGB devices, can look this clean on the backside. Corsair's really created a full-blown ecosystem to make everything work in unison, and it's pretty awesome. Also look at that LED effect. I think they call it a strobe effect that you can do with these QX fans, and it looks like the fans are not moving. It looks a lot more realistic in person, to the point where it's like they should probably put some fan grills on these things, because I'm sure some people who aren't paying attention probably just think it's a still fan. They're like, oh, look, a blade, and then there goes a finger. Some really awesome stuff here at the Corsair booth today. Very impressed with what they're showing off, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my Computex coverage for 2023. I'll see you guys in the next one.